Well, there's nothing more conflicting than being an artist. One second you love your art and being an artist, and then the next you hate your existence as a whole. Yeah, it's great. It's a party. I love it here. I started this channel off with a banger, and one of the things you might have noticed was just the most amazing piece of art you've ever seen in your life. Obviously. Now there is at least one thing that you know about me, that being, I am, indeed, an artist. And we all know the best way to describe my art is that it was sent from God himself. Ah yes, art, one of my most favorite things on the planet. In my opinion, art is one of the best types of human expression, because you can turn literally anything into a piece of art. As many of you can imagine, as a kid, I just loved art so much that one day, I was like, I want to do that, and here we are. That's right, I've dedicated precious hours of my life to perfecting my skills in the arts. Like the dumbass that I am, I forgot to record this part of the video, but I really wanted to be in there, so here we go. When I was 9 or 10 years old, it was when I was really young, I had this tradition, it was a Christmas tradition, where I went to my cousin's house and watched the nativity scene and opened presents. This particular year, my grandma was giving money to our cousins, and I don't know if she wrapped it in the drawings or gave it inside, like, as well, inside an envelope, but basically, she gave them my old drawings. They were FNAF fan art. To say that I was completely and utterly mortified is an understatement, and I haven't been able to sleep well since. So shout out to my grandma for giving me just this lovely story to tell people. And hopefully you guys will find my suffering as entertaining as I do. Okay, back to the video. Yeah, needless to say, I've had quite the experience. Now, I know, I'm good. So you're wondering how someone can achieve such a level of brilliance. And I'm here to tell you, you can't. But you can certainly try, and that's what counts. You should definitely subscribe. Yep, that's what you should do. Obviously, that last bit was a lie. I firmly believe that anyone can be good at art. They just have to choose to be good at it. Which I know sounds like a duh moment, but you'd be surprised. I've been doing artsy things my whole life, but I only got really into it when I was about 9 years old. That being said, I've spent 9 years of my life dedicating my brain cells to getting to the point where I can say, I can draw hands! Well, kinda. It's a work in progress. Yep, that's right. I've got 9 whole years of experience with crippling back pain, insomnia, and let's not forget the never-ending regret under my belt. Good stuff. This is not to say that I suck or haven't learned anything about art. To say that I have grown as an artist is an understatement. I started with traditional art and then I transitioned into more digital and trying to learn more animation. I've had 12 semesters worth of art and design classes, so obviously I'm a professional here. At this point, I've pretty much quit traditional art outside of my art classes because I want to focus more on digital art, and I may or may not lose contact with reality every now and again. I'm sure it's fine. All of that to get to where I am today. If I were given the chance to change how I got here, I wouldn't change much. However, if I knew then what I know now, I probably would have saved some time. The only reason I share this is because I hope it would add a shred of credibility to the advice I want to give to artists in this video. The 3 main things that I want to talk about in this video is 1, style, 2, improvement, and 3, frustrations. This video is not meant to stop you from doing whatever you want to do, because at the end of the day, this is about you wanting to better yourself as an artist, and it is nobody else's business on how you do it. Art is super subjective, so there isn't a right or wrong way to do it. There is no better teacher than experience, and sometimes we need to go the wrong way to fully understand why the right way is the right way, whatever that means to you. The first thing that I want to talk about is art style. There are many different ways to draw things. It's not even funny, and that's pretty great. Seeing all the different varieties of ways to draw something is one of the most fun things about being in the art community. Your art style is your art style, and that's what makes your art so valuable. However, there can be a downside to this whole art style thing. Now, I want to clarify that having an art style is not a bad thing. I'm saying when you use the excuse, "it's my art style," to not improve is indeed a problem. One of the most important things about being an artist, in my opinion, is improving. And when you get proportions wrong and call it your art style is when things can go awry. Typically, artists feel an obligation to stay true to their unique art style, and in doing so, it'll keep people from learning how to do things like proportions and normal rules about anatomy correct. Obviously, that correctly is in heavy quotation marks, because like I said before, there is no right or wrong way, but there also is a right way. Yeah. Art is a practicing contradiction. The truth of the matter is that you can break rules correctly, but you can't do that unless you know the rules to begin with, which is why chibi works so well. While the head and eyes are massively out of proportion, the body stays relative to regular human anatomy. Completely understanding what is right and wrong with your art is very important when it comes to improving, which is obvious. I think we all can agree that ignoring things that'll help you is not helpful. But because of what's helpful and what's not helpful has been muddied over the years, it's hard to understand which criticisms to take and which not to take. Basically, if someone has something actually constructive to say, I would take that criticism. But if it is just someone being mean, I wouldn't take that criticism. Because apparently, your art sucks is a criticism. And even if you don't want to apply the criticism, it's important to at least take into consideration what that person has said to you. More advice on criticism is to always get it from people you respect, because some people will just plainly be mean to be mean. Some people online do actually want to help you out, but most people are just trolls and kind of jackasses like that, so I would turn to people that you respect, like teachers or friends. I'm sure most artists can relate to having art block because that is one of the biggest frustrations when it comes to being an artist. Obviously, there's a lot to be frustrated about when it comes to it. From hating your art style to having no motivation to even pick up a pen. Trust me, most of my experience has been hating my own art. This fact is indeed true, but it is really sad in the same lane. While there is no way to completely get rid of these things, there are ways to help you move past those parts of the creative process. Like I said, there are many things to be frustrated about, but sometimes it can come down to being burnt out. Basically, when you're burnt out and you don't feel motivated to pick up a pencil or do something artistic, it's your brain telling you, bro, I'm fucking tired. Please let me have a break. Always remember to take breaks, because everybody needs a break regardless of what they're doing. And try your best not to get too frustrated at yourself for doing something like relaxing and watching TV, because breaks, like I said, are important. More often than not, I can find myself getting back into things like drawing and painting easier after I've had a good YouTube break. Now I know what you're thinking. Yeah, we get it. Artists have art and back problems. But Orangely, what's the point? This next thing that I'm going to share with you is what gets me out of bed. Nah, I'm just kidding. But it will help you try to push past these art blocks and blocks in your creative processes. The one thing that I've found that helps me out with all of these things is stealing. Yeah, okay, let me explain. Because believe it or not, but big-brained individuals have said that the greatest artists know how to steal to make their own art great. I'm pretty sure there's even a book about it. And even I can attest to this. When I struggle with my art style, I turn to other people's art style. When I struggle with how to do something right, I turn to other people's way of doing things. When I struggle with getting motivation or inspiration, I turn to other people and their success. Basically, using the internet to your advantage. Now, I'm not saying take people's art, repost it, and claim it as your own. That's obviously a really shitty thing to do. I'm saying look at what you like and want and incorporate that into your own art. Practice drawing in different styles. Practice doing things in art you wouldn't ever think to do in the first place. Keep things interesting for yourself. The more you stretch yourself, the better. One thing that I think is important to mention is that it's really easy to get lost in what you want and what you think others want. It's really easy to lose enjoyment in doing art when you're thinking about everyone else but yourself. So take inspiration from people, but don't change how you do things completely. Like previously mentioned, art is so cool because of how different artists can be. I guess, in short, all I'm saying is you don't have to be completely original. It's completely okay to take and use things that you think will help you. I'm gonna say this for the people who think I'm telling people to go straight up copy other artists. Copying artists in their entirety won't do you any favors. In my opinion, it's only good for personal use and for practice. Basically, use your brain and be smart on how you go about your whole art thing. Just be respectful of other artists as well. You wouldn't think that that has to be said, but again, here we are. This video was a bit longer than my last video, now stretching on to 11 minutes. Because I actually kind of know what I'm talking about. I'm pulling it from experience, but I also could just be pulling it straight out of my ass. Let me know. But I guess we'll never know unless you try broadening your horizons and polishing your skills in thievery. Anyway, thanks for watching. Or you're gonna press that subscribe button.